Tip number 1 for organizing a bead craft room is to take advantage of vertical space. I have a pegboard on my wall where I hang beads, wire spools, and other knickknacks. This really is a game changer. Hello my beautiful people, my name is Fen Lee, author, bead instructor, and designer here at the Bead Flora studio. On this channel, I normally do French beaded flower tutorials, and if that is your jam, hit the subscribe button below. But it's January and everyone, including me, is in an organizing mood. In today's video, I'm going to give you a studio tour of how I organize my bead studio. It's always changing, of course, but this is what I have going on right now, and hopefully this will give you some ideas for your craft room. Do you have a whole wall that you can put a pegboard on? You can find pegboards at home improvement stores and get hooks or even baskets that you can hook up to your board. They're relatively inexpensive. It's so nice to be able to take a quick glance at your wall and know exactly what you have, and it makes you feel like you have a bead or a craft store. Tip number 2 for organizing a bead craft studio is to have project boxes. If you're like me, and you're probably like me, you have multiple projects going on at once. I have these white boxes that I got at IKEA to put my projects in. I have a few in here that are now considered UFOs instead of projects in progress because they've been in here for a year or two. Let me know in the comments below, how many UFOs do you currently have? I can't even tell you how many I have. Before I go on, I need to make a disclaimer. I am not the most organized person. I mostly have an organized mess, so take these tips at your discretion. On to tip number 3, displaying beads in clear jars. Is this really a tip or just something I started doing? But you know, we buy beads by the pound in French beading, so there are a lot of beads. And I am sick of keeping beads in the plastic bags that they come in. It just feels so messy to me, especially when you're at the tail end of using some beads and you have this huge ass bag with a smidge of beads in there. Does that ever happen to you? So I've been using mason jars and other jars that I'm repurposing. I'm in the process of switching over to using mainly jars for the beads that I use on the regular, and they can be displayed on my bookshelf or table so that I can admire them and feel inspired. Now, tip number 4 for keeping a bead craft room organized is to use plastic drawers and these rolling carts. There are a few ways that I use these. I store my actual UFOs in plastic baggies and then put them in the drawers. And this is my UFO drawer, just a project I'm working on, or I need to make more of, or just to put together. I also have plastic rolling carts and drawers where I store light colored beads together. There will be beads that I will continue to keep in drawers because it's probably something I don't have a use for yet, and it's still in its packaging. I like these drawers because I can stack them on top of each other and I can still access what I need. And here's a bonus tip for keeping your craft room organized. Bead somewhere else. Okay, that's a joke, but hear me out. My studio is mainly for storage and for me to film my videos. When I bead, I put everything on a bed breakfast tray and take that all over the house when I'm hanging out with the fam. I may put the units in that I'm working on in a project box or put them in a bag that I can either put things together or put it in a UFO drawer for later. So to recap, here are organizing tips from a designer who's good at making organized messes. Use vertical space. Use project boxes. Store your beads in pretty glass containers. Use plastic drawers that you can build up. And bonus tip, make a mess somewhere else. Our workstations are our battle stations, so we need to keep it in some sort of manageable order. All the time that we waste looking for beads can be spent on actually beading. So if there's anything you see that you'd like me to elaborate on in another video, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see what my studio looked like 2 years ago, check out this video over here. Happy beading!